Story 1. Emile is making plans to read to my baby during the third trimester. Last night, my Emile was talking about how she has books from when my husband was in the womb and how she wants to read them to the baby. I thought she meant once baby is inside. Apparently, she wants to read to the baby while she is still in me during the third trimester because my husband would kick in her belly upon hearing his dad's voice, and she wants the baby to recognize her voice. I told her that that would make me uncomfortable as this is our first child and we want to reserve those kinds of memories for just the two of us. She said this is her first grandchild, so she should be able to be involved in those memories as well. I again said no, but that she could read all the books she wanted when baby girl is here. She was clearly upset as she didn't say another word to me the entire evening. It was late, so I haven't had a chance to talk to my husband about it yet, but I think he would agree with me. Did anyone else let their parents read to their bellies? I'm not close to my Emile, so I don't know if I am overreacting because it's not something I had thought to do. I hadn't even thought of it with my own parents, to be honest. ETA, my husband and I discussed it as well, and he agrees that it was an odd request that crosses boundaries. The problem is that she does these requests not in front of him, haha. But he is 100% in agreement that this would be inappropriate. We know she is excited, so we are brainstorming ways that can make her feel included and respected without crossing any lines that could complicate the relationship down the road. We believe that his mom has undiagnosed autism, which many women of her generation mask in silence, so we want to make sure we stay respectful yet assertive because it genuinely may be misplaced excitement. A lot of comments have given us great ideas for ways to do this, and I am resolute in this decision. Thank you for your feedback. Comment 1. Reading your comments. I think this was always the plan as a way to make you quit your job. They probably agree with your husband that you shouldn't be working. I think you need to make it clear to your husband that you are absolutely not moving anywhere near those people. Add that if you ever find out this was planned by his parents and he knew, that your marriage will be in serious danger as you don't tolerate that. Comment 2. It sounds like they were trying to manipulate you into quitting your job, maybe at the behest of your husband? Please, please, please do not fall for it. Comment 3. JFC. All it took was 3 weeks for them to show you both their asses. Whilst you are righteously angry and are absolutely 100% right to batten down the hatches, pull up the drawbridge and slam your gate shut completely in your relationship with your ILs. How dare they cause this much chaos for your family and then walk away with no word? Wheel. 2 can play at that game, so match their energy. Drop all communication and effort and let your DH chase after them if he wishes. But offer him some relationship counseling to discuss this with you thoroughly and draw boundaries you and he are happy with. He can then do as he pleases and you can do the same. Comment 4. Ask her how she felt when her ML read to her belly. Oh, she didn't do that? Wonder why. I used to say this to my Emile, now deceased, a lot about things that were clear overstepping. She had main character syndrome but was generally okay, and it made her reflect on her actions and words. We both had spines, so it worked. Comment 5. That's a parent thing to do, not a grandparent thing. Y'all, you raised your children. We're raising ours. Her, but DH's dad would read. Y'all, then DH can be the one reading to our baby. Comment 6. You are not overreacting. And please know that this is just the beginning of your ML trying to force her way to get her grandma experience. She had the opportunity to do whatever she wanted with her child during her pregnancy. This is your child, and you should do what you want during your pregnancy. Your ML is having a hard time understanding her new role as grandmother. She still wants to be the mom. Do yourself a favor. 1. Learn to enforce boundaries with your ML. And 2. Learn to let her live with her disappointment. You will have to say no to her, and that's okay. She will be upset, and that's okay too, as she is entitled to her feelings. The key is that it is not your responsibility to help her get over her upset feelings. She needs to learn and accept that she is the grandmother, not the mother. Story 2. Mrs. Grabby Hands. My 2-year-old is becoming more independent and less accepting of hugs and kisses from anyone but me and DH. Emile thrives on physical affection, which is fine, but she struggles to hold back around DS. We remind her that he needs space, and she respects that at first, especially when we arrive and he's still adjusting. But once he gets comfortable, she starts grabbing him for hugs and kisses. Sometimes he doesn't mind, but other times she holds on too long and he gets upset. If he resists, she tries to force it. The first time this became an issue was 3 months ago at her house. I was sleeping in, but I caught the tail end of it. DH told me that DS was happily opening presents and playing when ML started grabbing him for hugs and kisses. He was fine at first, but the last time, he resisted and she didn't let go. DS had a full meltdown, crying, throwing himself on the floor, and banging his head. When I walked out, ML looked horrified and was talking about someone needing to get tested. I tended to DS, and we left later that afternoon. DH later told me that ML thought something was wrong with DS because of how he reacted. He told her off and explained that DS doesn't have the words yet to say no, so he expresses himself the only way he knows how. Now we're about to visit ML again for a family birthday, and I need some phrases to repeat besides just give him space. Some alternatives I plan to use are: let him come to you when he's ready. Hug should be his choice, not ours. The best way to show love is to make him comfortable. When he resists, that's his way of saying no. We need to listen. I just don't know what to say when she says he needs to learn how to love, or whatever BS she uses to justify her actions. Comment 1. Banging on the windows. Walk over and look her in the eyes as you shake your head and close the curtains. Kicking you out. This is the perfect opportunity to get as far from her as possible. Several hours away at a minimum. Ignoring general boundaries. Boundaries are just words. The real power comes from the consequences you attach to them. So set your boundaries, state the consequences for ignoring them, and then follow through. She'll learn. That last point you made really hit me. I've never seen it worded that way. You are so right. Thank you so much. Comment 2. I knew even before I read your comment that she was selling it so you'd move in with her so she can control the baby. Can you guys move farther away when you go to rent something else? Perhaps really far away, another country, or the other side of the one you're on. This woman sounds extremely personality disordered with her extreme narcissistic tendencies. Comment 3. She is not just your ML, she is your landlord, and she legally has to give 24 hours notice before coming by, unless it is a true emergency, burst pipe, etc. Will you have to move in with her? Are you sure she is really selling the house? Could this be a ruse to force you to be under her roof with the baby, so she can take control? Comment 4. When I walked out, ML looked horrified and was talking about someone needing to get tested. When she says that, look at her and say, you're right. We've told you over and over that he needs space and this is unacceptable. Seems to me like you're having memory problems. When can we expect your test to be scheduled? Here's the hard part. You have to keep on it over and over when she will start to push back. Comment 5. I think a wider range of phrases isn't helpful. All of that leaves room for interpretation, or for her to argue against, or sound like suggestions. Emile, we said no. Please leave him alone. Over and over again, broken record, hammer the single point home with no wriggle room. You can prioritize your child's needs or her feelings, but likely not both. Comment 6. How about stop? Stop grabbing him. Stop kissing him. Let him go. Comment 7. He knows how to love. You need to learn how to respect. Story 3. Mrs. Grabby Hands. Update. Birthday weekend drama recap. The weekend started great with my son's first snow experience on the way to ML house, but the party quickly went downhill. At first, Emile was respectful, but she grabbed my son when he didn't want to be held, so I told her to put him down. What frustrated me most were her constant undermining comments, insisting he could watch TV after I turned it off, dismissing my efforts to teach him respect for decorations, and pouting when my husband denied her giving him a treat. I shut each incident down, but there were a couple. That night, my son and I went to bed early. The next morning, we planned to leave, but my son wanted out even earlier. He became cranky with everyone hovering over him. BIL grabbed him, freaking him out, and I told him not to do it again. DH told BIL later to stop doing that too. MIL and FIL wouldn't back off, and he eventually lost it, screaming anytime someone entered the room except for SL. He kept leading my husband and me to the car, so I packed up while DH stayed with him. DH, overwhelmed, told our son to stop crying, which he later regretted. MIL then told DH how to parent, and he snapped, telling her never to do that again. We left a few minutes later. The aftermath. A day later, Estelle texted, asking why DH was upset. ML told her it was because DH hates Estelle's family, that he had to be convinced to attend, and that we left early to avoid them. Estelle, BIL, and MIL got into a fight over it. MIL was completely lying and projecting. ML then sent DH a long-winded text, demanding respect as a grandmother and saying he needs to control his emotions around our son, completely omitting her fight with Estelle and BIL. More drama. Before we left, DH had asked ML if Estelle's family was coming over later, and her reaction made it clear she didn't want them there. I later mentioned this to SIL. For days after the party, Estelle was still stewing over MIL's lies. She called MIL to confront her, which backfired. MIL denied everything, badgered SIL, and Estelle, overwhelmed, used what I told her as proof that MIL didn't like her family. Of course, MIL called it a lie, and now I'm dragged into their fight. I'm frustrated that Estelle broke our trust. She apologized sincerely, but I feel like she let emotions get the best of her, and now I don't know if I can confide in her anymore. I'm taking space from her while DH decides how to respond to MIL's text. We're planning to take a break from MIL, but this new drama is just annoying. I feel bad for Estelle because I know how it feels. I just wish Estelle would have left me out of the drama and I would have spoken up in the moment. Comment 1. I would own the fact you won't keep secrets for your MIL and will tell your SL when your MIL shit talks. We will not be manipulated and go along with lies you tell about us. If you tell lies, we will correct the record. If you don't like that, don't lie. Comment 2. You, yourself, DH, and Estelle can nip triangulation in the bud by each immediately group chatting anyone involved including ML and repeating what ML claims the other person said. The side confrontations just give her more opportunities to pit you against each other, as she successfully did this time. Comment 3. Honestly, children know and will show you who they want to be around. If it was my baby reacting like that to anyone, especially his grandma, I would go super low contact. Do not put your child in uncomfortable situations in the name of family. No child, no matter how small, should be made to feel uncomfortable. They should be made to feel safe in their surroundings, and right now your ML is not safe. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.